need gaming bets. We accept bets on computer games online since 2011. Referral system for regular users and the first deposit bonus. Gaming devices store and the best choice of payment systems. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks and League of Legends. EGB.com. You know for sure who's going to win.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck. What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Welcome back, quickly getting through the games in the series here in the DotaPit Season 4 NA, or America's qualifiers I should say, since we do have some South American teams doing pretty well in this old group stage. But the final series of tonight, EnemyGG against Elite Wolves, and we're already seeing EnemyGG with the startings of the draft we've seen before, Invoker, Abaddon, and I'm feeling a Terrorblade coming. My co-caster Pandago.
10 seconds remaining.
What do you feel about this EnemyGG lineup? And BSJ.
5 seconds remaining.
Like in general, or just the heroes they have right now?
In general.
Reserve time.
We'll start with that.
I've been pretty surprised with how well they've been doing, to be honest. Like, they're outperforming my expectations, I guess you would say. So, good. I mean, there are a few players on it that definitely are like pretty high up there in the NA Dota ladder, so they are obviously good players. It's just, can they gel as a team? And so far they've been doing okay. I wouldn't say that they're blown like my mind or anything, but they definitely put on some nice performances. So I think that Invoker's definitely been their like go-to hero, right?
10 seconds remaining.
Okay,
Definitely.
that's what I thought.
They've gone for like Invoker,
5
tried to get
seconds
Abaddon,
remaining.
and then they have these kind of pre-made strats where BSJ gets Terrorblade,
Reserve
Ursa,
time.
Slark, or wait, there's one more. Terrorblade, Slark, Ursa, Phantom Lancer. Phantom Lancer's the fourth one. I think the makings of this, we saw this from EG, I think at the summit, where they had
Radiant
Invoker, Abaddon,
team
Lone Druid, and they did the Alacrity Shield and just sent the bear forward, and he crushed buildings and crushed everyone. They also like having the Ogre. Like, Ogre, Abaddon, dual offlane for EnemyGG has worked out pretty nicely for them. They just like these steroid heroes that pump up BSJ's hero and allow him to, like, 1v5. But we'll see how their draft progresses, because Elite Wolves right now, Bane Tiny combination, Nightmare into Toss, that's been pretty popular the past month or so. The Zeus, though, hasn't been a
seconds
go-to
remaining.
hero for many people, especially not in the second pick phase. What's the
5
idea behind that?
seconds remaining.
It's hard to tell right now. He's good at dealing with teams that want to group up. Like, he pumps out a lot of AoE magic damage with the static, whatever, I can't think what it's called, static charge, I think. And he's just able, and like Arc Lightning, he's able to make it so Abaddon has trouble keeping everyone's HP topped off. I mean, and also you're able to like kind of take everyone down at the same time, which Abaddon doesn't deal with. Like, he's good at dealing with, keeping one hero alive at a time. So, and himself. It's okay. I don't necessarily know if that's the best pick in that scenario, but we'll see if they have some other like heroes that they plan to pick to back him up. Maybe they just wanted to see the new cosmetic. I don't know.
Get the Arcana there, the rework.
Yeah, they better have their Arcana at least. I've
Yeah.
seen people picking Zeus that. I mean, come on. It's only what, $40? I don't even know how much it costs.
It's insane. It's insane.
It's
like
pretty expensive.
30-something euros. It's crazy. But they do have
There you
Van
go.
playing for them again. The last time we saw
team
them,
pick.
Doomsday was still standing in. He was standing in for Van. But now, who's missing? Masoku? Masoku's missing, I think.
Yep.
Okay. So Doomsday, he was playing off lane, but I'm still yet to see where this is going to match up, because Van was always that guy that liked his 1v1s. He liked playing in the off lane, but could also switch towards the safe lane. Ewo and Smash, we'll see how they actually pair up. But EnemyGG, there's the
Radiant
BSJ
team
Ursa,
banned.
left through the banning phase and allowed to get picked up there for that safe lane role. But Elite Wolves, they've got decent ways of dealing with him. They've got Bane to kite him a little bit with Nightmare Fiend's Grip, Tiny to toss him back. Maybe they need a little bit more control
10
here, because they still have to deal with
remaining.
heroes like Abaddon and Witch Doctor, who can stun you up and
5
stop that
seconds
control coming
remaining.
out of the Bane. And final ban, going to be the 5th support here, the final hero. Vengeful Spirits to take
Dire
out.
team
We've seen
banned.
a lot of Loom done Witch Doctor and Venge, so it's kind of interesting that they do ban the Venge, because I feel that it's going to be the Frozen hero that comes out next, and he's loved the Ogre recently, honestly, playing a ton of Ogre.
Yeah. And yeah, in
10
general,
seconds
I don't know.
remaining.
Witch Doctor Venge does not seem like a very strong support duo, even if it wasn't those
5
players.
seconds remaining.
Just kind of really don't have great synergies together, or even with any of the heroes on the team. So Ogre would be a pretty good
Team
pickup for
pick.
them. The AA pick, I think, is very nice. It makes the Zeus way stronger. It makes their whole draft make more sense. They're very easily able to burst down heroes with just an A blast plus like Zeus combo plus any amount of burst. Like they got Bane, Brain Sap, they've got Tiny combo. So they have no shortage of damage. Their biggest weakness right now, I would say, probably their lanes. So they just want to secure their lanes and make sure they have good lanes. I'm not 100% certain where all these heroes are going.
5 seconds remaining.
Phantom Assassin is their last pickup, which is kind of
Dire
interesting.
team pick.
Oh, I think it might be offlane Zeus.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that the Peruvian teams in general, like South American teams even, they all like to play offlane Zeus.
Van used to play a ton of it. Like his 3
Yeah.
heroes when it comes to mind were Batrider, Slark, and Zeus. And
Yeah.
used to switch things up.
So I guess the AA Phantom Assassin, a great landing combo, especially since the dagger
10
applies
seconds
the
remaining.
whatever the thing is,
Chilling Touch,
Chilling
yeah.
Touch. All the spell names like skip my mind. I have like different names for them, so I have to like try and remember what the spell's actually called. Just like I always call that one Cold Hands for some
Cold-
reason, even though it's the wrong one.
Icy Hands!
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't know. But like, yeah, so that's a pretty good combo, and plus the Stifling Dagger into the Cold Feet, like, is pretty good for setting up the stun, and it's also just in general a good hero against Ursa. Like all those heroes have a lot of right-click physical damage. That's where a majority of their damage comes from. So PA is good against that. Good pickup. I think that pretty much solidifies the offlane Zeus, and then they'll probably have Tiny mid. They could potentially do Tiny Bane bottom and a PA A mid, but I don't think we'll see that.
So now
I'm interested to see what EnemyGG picks up here. What do you think?
I kind of like Disruptor here for like displacement against heroes that want to jump forward and initiate and then maybe run themselves back to get damage from range. Zeus, PA, and Tiny. Also against the Bane, cancel out the Fiend's Grip with Glimpse Static Storm, something like that. And it gives Ursa a much easier time jumping on a target, but it's the,
Right back to the Ogre.
it's the initial thing we were talking about. Frozen
Yeah.
has played a lot of Ogre recently, and it's going to be the dual lane. Abaddon Ogre is just...
It is a good lane.
It's insanely difficult to handle. 8 armor on Ogre, 700 and whatever HP, basically 900 effective HP at level 1, whatever crazy amount it is. He is really, really tough to handle. Plus the HP regen he has, which I forget the value, but it's like 3
I think it's like
HP.
3.5
Yeah.
or something like that.
Add
It's
in,
very high.
add in a couple of mangoes and he's up to 5.
Yeah, he's a good hero. His weakness is really he doesn't have a lot of lane sustain for mana, so it's like you're kind of like just a fat dude that walks around and hits people. It's good if you don't get kited or if you can have other people to back you up and you just kind of run at them maybe with a
10
orb of venom
remaining.
and start the fights. But he can kind of struggle in like long drawn out laning stage, which I think is what they're going to end up having. I think if they do the lanes that we are believing they're going to do, which is Abaddon Ogre bottom, Ursa Witch Doctor top, and then mid Invoker, Ewolves will probably respond with something like Zeus offlane, which I think does pretty well against the Ursa Witch Doctor lane, because he can just kind of get CS with the lightning, try and avoid the Witch Doctor. He can harass the Witch Doctor pretty hard if the Witch Doctor doesn't have a stick, which I doubt he will have it very early. And he'll just get like decent CS and won't get completely shut down. Mid will be Tiny versus Invoker, which I guess that I think if it was old Invoker, like before the nerf with the Alacrity, Invoker would destroy him. Like it wouldn't even be close because he gets like 30 damage, or he used to get 30 damage with level 1 Alacrity. So you just go Alacrity and out CS him and harass him. But I think with the new change, it should be pretty even. But I think the bot lane, like that will be where all the action will be, and I really do believe E-Wolves will like. I think Bane PAA is a pretty strong tri-lane that two melee heroes will have a lot of trouble dealing with, and A has always been a pretty good hero to at all stages of the game against Abaddon. Abaddon struggles with that hero pretty hard.
Now, during that pause, I'm sitting here thinking I wanted to make a bet with you how many mangoes were going to get purchased this game. Because no, I'm not kidding. Lumdun, I've seen him play Venge and Witch Doctor a bunch, and he almost always goes double mango with 2 tangos that he pools to his mid player. In this game, there's 1 mango on Lumdun, 1 mango on Sovereign, 1 mango on Frozen, and that's what I would have said. I would have said 3 mangoes for enemy. But I mean, Smash.
Yeah, he kind of threw the odds out the window there, huh?
Smash on the Zeus has 5 mangoes. Ah, okay.
What the heck? This is one of the most advanced maneuvers I've seen someone pull out in the beginning of the game so far. They 5-man checked the Roche pit and then smoked out of it and are going to contest the top rune. I mean, if they get a rune in the first play off with a smoke, it's probably worth it, to be honest. Like, it's a pretty decent play. Okay, now they're just like using it to scout and trying to follow them. They're trying to take a level 1 fight. This is pretty interesting. I like this play a lot. The question is, will they get a kill out of it? If they get a kill, it'll be worth it.
Maybe they will. Frozen was so close to scouting that with the Observer Ward. Slayer walks forward. They've got the blink forward, the strike in from Ewo. And Slayer's dropping low. Chilling touches there, but the slowdown by the Ignite. Slayer wants to try and deny himself to Roshan, but he's not going to be able to. As the Phantom Assassin gets the kill. Bounty runes, bounty runes, bounty runes. Invoker did
split
get
it, actually. Yeah, so that was like, actually, it was still good. I think it was still probably worth the smoke, but if they got double bounty rune and the first blood there, which I think they could have. I don't know why Van didn't skill up stun. Like, if he skill up stun, he could have stunned Invoker and gotten it. I'm like 90% sure.
It's for this man. The Nightmare into toss
that
back.
Is, alright.
Tier 1 tower. Slayer has just got himself back to base, back to tier 1 mid, and now he's already dropping incredibly low. He's hit level 2, so he does have that Wex up, but oh my goodness. Bottom lane, what's happening down here? The shield is up on the Ogre, charging forward onto the PA. Went for the blink first, so there is no blur, no dagger. But Frozen, the tanky guys. Yeah, 636 HP, not 730, which I thought it was. But 8 armor. Magic damage from AA can rip through the HP pretty nicely, doesn't care about armor at all. But it's the Smash off-lane Zeus. So Van is on the Tiny. Must go over on on that Bane. Mango OP. 6 HP regen a second on this Zeus. Yeah, it's a little bit insane.
Yeah, I didn't quite expect that build. It's pretty interesting, but the problem is now he's at like 100 HP and he can't really do anything. He needs, I don't know if I I mean, I like it, but it's definitely, you need some more regen. I think even going like 2 mangoes would have been fine, or 3 even wouldn't have been horrible, but 5 mangoes, you need the salve so you can like trade if you get caught out and then salve up and come back to lane and stuff like that. But it's always fun to see the crazy builds. And then I guess, like you said, the in the drafting stage, the Tiny Bane mid combo is very strong. We'll see if they're able to get the Invoker with it, because I think their bottom lane is going to suffer a lot for this, though. Like, the Ogre Abaddon will win the dual lane. I think with the tri-lane, it would have been a very difficult lane for them, because Abaddon's the type of hero that really needs to, like, snowball in lane, and if he gets shut down early, he is a pretty weak hero.
Eternal Envy's been spamming PA recently.
I know, I've seen.
Not been doing so well with the hero. Been pretty interesting to watch, but Poor Man Shield, Phantom Assassin. Now, where do you think PA actually fits in? Because I know I've had this discussion with Cap and Blitz a fair amount, and even though her skill set screams kind of late game-ish carry with the fact you've got crit and evasion built into your hero, stat gain is not amazing. Strength gain is pretty low. Agi's decent, pretty high, but I don't know. Overall, I think it's more of a mid-game focused hero where you just like spam stats and try and run at people. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Personally, I don't think the hero is even very good, like at all. But I do think that in this particular game, he's going to try and build more towards the late game. It can kind of do both, I guess. If you do build for late game items, like you can go later. But if you go like the earlier, like SNY and stuff like that, you can fight earlier. I think he'll just go Basher BKB probably, and he's kind of like almost a setup for them if he does that with his like random procs on Stifling Dagger. If he crits someone or stuns someone, then they just Zeus ult or like Zeus nuke them and AA blast them, they'll die most of the time. So I guess that's kind of where the hero fits into this like particular lineup. He doesn't really need to be going into the like front lines. He should just be sitting back throwing daggers. Tiny can initiate. I'm assuming the Tiny's gonna go Blink Dagger, like the kind of ganking Tiny build, and he'll be setting up for the kills.
Yeah, I reckon so as well. So you're looking at this Ursa, you need mobility against this guy. BSJ, his builds have kind of varied. We've seen him, the majority of the time he kind of goes to Phase, Morbid Mask, takes Roshan, gets a Blink Dagger. But there's also been the build where he goes Brown Boots into Midas, then goes into like BOTs, Helm of the Dominator, and goes a little more late game focused and really secures that farm. Because Ursa is a hero that cannot flash farm, relies quite heavily on kills in the mid game especially to keep the gold income flowing. So if BSJ sort of, halts a little bit and doesn't get the kills and pickoffs he needs, there's always something good about that Midas build to actually fall back on. Oh, Lundan getting
A lot of
angry.
pauses today.
So
Yeah.
Do you know if Lundan he's tagged up, so it looks like he's actually joined the team now, because he was a
As far as I know, yeah, he was always on the team. He just didn't have like the tag up. Probably couldn't change it or whatever. But yeah. He has to change his internet connection. How much time? What? How do you even change your internet connection? Like, I'm assuming by that he means like, was he running to another house or something? Like plugging the Ethernet cable into a different wall? I don't understand.
I don't know. There's a lot of streamers and people who get hit by DDoS in 7 minutes. I like that exact number, 7 minutes. No, there's a lot of streamers. I know Wagamama in particular. They run 2 or 3 internet connections, and they pay for multiple connections just in case one gets DDoSed or has issues. So they always have a fallback. I don't know if that's the case here for this player, but yeah, mainly it's like a business thing where you have like a fallback internet connection, or at least you have like a 4G connection to go back.
I really doubt he's in that situation.
Yeah.
Maybe they are though. I think they might. Actually, I don't know if they're playing at like a team house. I'm not 100% certain. But if they were, it would probably be happening in the mall, right? So probably not. It's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like illegal, or like at least against the terms of service of my internet provider, for me to have more than one internet connection. Like if I did it, yeah, I'm pretty sure. There's internet is
free.
It's not a fun place to go for internet. Trust me, it's the worst in the world. I'm sure. Like there's so many monopolies and just like competition. Well, I guess not competition, but just like they are just so deeply rooted that
Comcast.
It's hard to do anything.
AOL.
Comcast is the internet that I have. So yeah, that's one of them. Time Warner, stuff like that. Now they're all combining into one. Good times.
So now you're just waiting for Google Fiber to roll in, huh?
Unfortunately, it's going to be a long time. Actually, I live in Washington, and they had like one of the first fiber connections that were like, but it's more in Seattle area, and it's like they tried to turn it into a utility, which, dear Lord, that would have been the greatest day ever. But unfortunately, I don't think that happened. I just stopped following it. Actually, Congress has not been that bad for me lately. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've learned to survive with it. It's fine. I haven't had any like major issues in the past like 6 months.
They aren't ruining your life.
Not recently. There's been periods of time though where it's just like, this can't be a service I'm paying for.
How is this happening to me? Do they still have like actual caps on data you can use over there?
Depends. I do not. Luckily, that's one of the nice things. That's why I probably don't hate Comcast as much as some people, but there's plenty of places that do.
'Cause that's something that's been zoned out completely in Europe. Like,
yes, that's nice.
there's almost no providers now that are like, oh, by the way, you can only download 100 gigabytes a month. Have fun with that. It's a little bit silly.
It's mostly phased out, I believe, but there's certainly places that still do it. Especially in like rural areas, I think, that just have like horrible infrastructure still, so they need to like ways to limit people from just using the entire line. Basically, it's just like, if you're on like doing this all the time, then no one else will use the internet. That's how bad it is in some places. So, yeah.
I was super happy when I moved away from England to Berlin, because in the UK, where we first lived, we had, I don't know, like 13 megabit download and I don't know, 2 up or something, and that was as good as you could get in the area. And this was North London, like this is near the capital city, where internet actual infrastructure was still running on the stuff from the 60s, the old copper wires, because it was too expensive to rip up the roads to actually install fiber and stuff like that. They're slowly rolling it out. But moving to Berlin, oh my goodness, like everywhere. No matter where you go, it's like 100 over 100. There you go, have internet. Easy stuff. But then you compare it to Eastern Europe, Sweden, Norway, Latvia, Lithuania, places like that. Even go across to like Southeast Asia, Japan, like Singapore and stuff. 100 is basic amenity kind of thing. Like you get that stuff in schools and universities.
Yeah, for free.
Take it.
And it's a different, whole different thing.
He has rejoined, hasn't he?
As far as I can tell.
I want to see these mangoes in action. I'm still wondering how Zeus actually fares up against this Witch Doctor trading hits.
Not with 5 mangoes, not well, because the Witch Doctor still has a Fairy Fire and 2 tangos, so he's doing pretty good on the HP regen department. Plus, if he gets level 2, he'll have his Voodoo Restoration, which he can just use to zone the Zeus. I mean, Smash got the top rune, so he actually has gotten no experience so far. I mean, there's only been 1 creep, but he's been zoned out of that, and I just don't see how he's going to get back into range to really pick up that experience at this point. I think he needs to fare himself a salve, pretty much.
And it's not like he can pull this camp across either, or even farm the camp to the east. That large camp's pretty much off bounds for him.
Yeah, I mean, he could stack and farm it with Arc Lightning, but it would be, you know, not for a while, so he can't do it, like, right away. He needs Static Field, at least.
It'd take 10 years with a Cloak Aura on the little potato, the Hellbear.
Yeah.
It's gonna take
Yeah, if
forever.
you get those, it would take forever. Yeah, I don't know. He's kind of in a rough spot. Maybe the Bane could rotate up somehow and like try and pressure him, like the Witch Doctor off, so that Zeus could get a level or 2, so that he could then be more competitive against the Witch Doctor. But I think he's pretty content with sitting mid and having Tiny toss people at him. So we'll see how that goes. I just looked at the Bane's build. Actually, he's got a Null Talisman and pooled Tangos. Did somebody pool the Bane Tangos? That is the greediest support I've ever seen. Who did that? That was I don't even know who it was. It looks like it might have been AA, based on the items that most people have.
Well,
Heck.
Tiny has a pooled tank. Wait, hang on. So Bane has pooled Tiny Tangos, and also pooled himself.
It looks like he probably pulled the Tiny one too many and then just took one back. I guess he probably pulled him a bunch and then took him back. I can't even tell.
Bane has pulled Tiny 2 Tangos because one of the shared Tangos is on cooldown. So Van had 2.
Yeah.
So that means Bane was given 2 Tangos by the AA.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're just pulling Tangos around.
Yeah, just sharing the love. Give everyone a bit of Tango.
Putting them on cooldown. Making it harder to use. Taking up your inventory. It's fine though. He'll probably use one of them here pretty soon. He might even give one of the shared Tangos back to Tiny.
Slayer on this mid
2 minutes. Did we get an ultimatum that's something that happens when
I'm pretty sure it's just like resume the game or forfeit kind of deal.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Hopefully
Good timing.
he's back.
Good timing. We had a situation last night. I think it was E-Wolves. I can't remember. It's been a long week of spamming NA games for me actually. Where one team literally had 30 seconds to join the lobby. They were missing a player. They had like 30 seconds to join the lobby. He joins in and gets straight into it. It took so long. I think Complexity were playing up against them, and they were, you know, when do we get the default win? No, Complexity are very good with that. They're very forward in asking, when do we get this? When do we get?
I mean,
this win?
hey,
We're tired of waiting.
It's kind of annoying, yeah, when you're expected to play at a certain time and people just don't show up. But then again, it's just different scenarios for different people, especially if you're a team that's like a professional team dealing with more of like a semi-professional or amateur team. It's harder to expect perfect punctuality out of them when they're have other things going on, but still, it's like if you schedule for it, you should be there.
Wait, Misko is coming. Right, here we go. We've had our break. 25 minutes of waiting, and we finally
gotta analyze the starting item builds pretty deeply. The mangoes.
We didn't even talk about the Abaddon. Doesn't really matter. He's
true.
got a mango and a shield, all the venom on
His
the
build's
ogre
too
is
normal. That's
Yeah.
boring. Just look at the mangoes.
We just looked at the Zeus for 20 minutes. That's more than enough. So there's Dual Lane now up in the face. The Chilling Touch is out. More of a deterrent than anything, I think, just to try and force Sovereign and Frozen back a little bit. But it's Slayer mid. He just used his salve and he's already dropped down to half HP again. 1 point up in the class. It's going to give him a good amount of regen, but I don't know if it's enough because look at Van. He's just waiting for that mana to come back up. Takes a bit of harass out here from Slayer's Invoker with a cold snap through. It's just that... the fact he doesn't have a clarity, though, on this Tiny. Waiting for that bottle to come in, I guess. But there's no Nightmare Toss available just yet. I really want to go on this Invoker. Right, bottle's coming out now. And it's just a matter of time until this Invoker dies.
He just needed that bottle. He was being so greedy for that last CS. He had 600 gold, and he's just like lost half of a salve just because he wanted to try and get it. Now he's gonna have to sit and wait. But bottle's coming out. He'll get the rune probably as well. Looks like Smash is gonna come middle.
Is the bounty rune for him?
I don't know, maybe. Yeah, he's like, okay. Give you the bounty rune. Bane's coming in with the sleep. Not gonna get it. Still doesn't have the bottle on Tiny anyways, so it wouldn't have mattered. Plus, the creeps are pushed up too far now for them to do like the toss back combo, right? They can still just wombo combo, and I think it would still be a kill with Brain Sap plus the... Maybe they need level 3. It'd be close, because he has the Fairy Fire and the boots now as well.
Well, up at top, Smash has finally hit level 2. Gets into that static field, and Lundin actually goes for the Maledict. So stun Maledict, and I guess with the damage output from the Ursa. I always get a little bit surprised at how short the cooldown is on Earthshock, 5 seconds and the 75 mana cost. It's really quite easy to spam it out, and look at, oh. Right.
I believe he's dead.
I believe he's also dead. I mean, the cast won't bounce back, but there's phase boots on...
Phase boots, yeah, and no boots on Smash. So he's definitely going to catch up to him. He'll just Earthshock, slap him with Maledict, and yeah, Smash has accepted his fate. He's also analyzed the situation and realized the error of his ways. So the best thing he can do in this situation is buy his items. He might be able to get a TV scroll and boots, which I don't know if he wants to sacrifice a whole mango in his inventory for those 2 items, but we'll see.
Okay,
I think he'll be able to get both.
Is your fate determined? BSJ, yep, in we go. Maledict is there. The Furious
TV scroll and boots, and he's dead.
At least he gets the items bought. I mean, did he lose any gold there?
No. It was actually not that bad for him. The fact that he got those items bought was pretty significant, because he needs the boots to have any chance to kite a Phase Boots Ursa, or else he's just going to die every time he gets stunned. With boots, as long as he doesn't get too out of position, maybe he can take some lane experience.
Slayer somehow got out of that situation pretty nicely. They got the Nightmare down, but Tornado just before the toss came through. That's the Invoker to survive. The pull across. Down to the bottom lane. Sovereign and Frozen farming up with the Radiant Creep Wave helping them take the large camp. And they can drag it back into the wave as well, but it is a double wave with a catapult here from the Radiant. I don't know how much damage they can do to this tier 1 at bottom lane, or if they actually want to press any further forward with Smash. Smash has come down to join them. The blink forward onto Frozen with a chilling touch damage. Aphotic Shield is there onto that Ogre though. They'll take him down. Damage output is good enough. Meanwhile, towards the mid. What was Witch Doctor doing?
I'm not gonna lie, I missed that one as well. I think that he was just... maybe he rotated in and woke up the Invoker. I actually didn't see any of what happened, but... let's see if he has a TP scroll. If he buys one here, we might be able to see if he's on cooldown. No, he bought a ward. I think he might have TP'd into mid and died waking up the Invoker, because he was asleep.
Oh, Van. Cross him onto Smash. Oh, the Ghost Walk. Reveal him for a little bit, but... Slayer has been pretty on point with these timings. Tornado and Ghost Walk, both very well done. But the Witch Doctor was actually over towards the Ancient ramp of the Radiant.
No, so he just got caught like walking over trying to gank or ward or something.
Yeah, looks like it.
Well, this mid lane is like really low CSing lane. I mean, both of the players. The Invoker is super behind because they've all just been so focused on killing and surviving as opposed to getting the CS. I don't really know. I suppose that probably favors the Tiny, especially since he's just so ahead, but... Let's see, where's... Invoker's TPing back to mid.
But then there's BSJ up at top, 34 last hits. Doubling up on the PA. So the safe lane PA has been all but shut down by the Ogre Abaddon lane. And even if they give up kills, it's still fine. This Evo is just being shoved, look at him! Shoved off the creep wave, now they're chasing down with the Doomsday, the Ancient Apparition. Gets slowed down with a shield onto Sovereign now. He cancels out the slow, and the stun is there from Frozen. He even pops the Fairy Fire, but it's just delaying the inevitable. It's the Phantom Assassin now the one taking the full brunt of the action.
Yep. Now that the Abaddon has picked up his phase boots, this lane is going to be very difficult for them. And this is why I was saying, like, I really don't think that the value for Evils came out of that dual lane mid. Like, they really didn't get any kills, right? So... And if you're not getting kills and he's basically just stealing his Tiny's experience and he didn't harass the Invoker out too much. I mean, to be fair, they did stop like Invoker from CSing a decent amount, but I think if they had just Tri-Lane bottom with the AA Bane PA, they could have just killed the, at least for the first like maybe minute or two, and then the Bane can just roam mid and get an easy sleep on Invoker. Here comes the toss.
There's
the tower.
Invoke is off cooldown. The damage output is just about there though onto the tower, and Van still has the avalanche to throw.
See, I mean that combo is still really strong, but it's like trying to do it at level 1 is pretty optimistic to say the least, I think. Because the guy has to be pretty out of position and be super far forward if you're going to get a toss far back enough that's actually going to kill him. So I think it's more of a thing that you try and rotate in and do, instead of just static the lane and do it.
Do E-Wolves have any way of moving to top to kill BSJ?
At this point it's pretty hard. He's got a stick, he has phase boots, lifesteal, so he's like always going to be pretty full on HP. I don't see the potential in theirs. It would require Tiny for sure. They would have to have Tiny Road hit up there, and they'd have to like combo him before he gets his ult off. It's borderline impossible unless they catch him in like a spot where he doesn't see them and they see him. Looks like they're gonna try and catch. This is a good kill if they kill him before he hits 6. Very good rotation.
Abaddon, yep, straight on to Abaddon. Sovereign, like you said, not level 6 yet. They're actually going to go for more here. It's Frozen, Avalanche, tossed back onto Ewo, and Musco is here. The Nightmare, if they really need it. Slow down Frozen's retreat, but it's the toss from Van which will secure the kill. 6-2. E-Wolves, laning phase has gone decently for them kill-wise. But how are we looking actually like overall net worth-wise? Enemy are leading by about 1,000.
Yeah, that rotation really salvaged them because they were pretty behind before that, but now it's pretty much pretty even. Their Cannon really came in the clutch there for Tiny, got him the extra kill. Cooldown reduction was pretty big. Are they actually going to try and kill him again? They got the sleep. He's still not 6. TP coming in from Ogre though. They're going to toss him back. This is really greedy. No mana on the Tiny.
It's another shield, and Van, oh, he's not going to die just yet. Sovereign chasing, he's hunting with the movement speed he's got, not going to catch up in time. The EMP might slow down the retreat though. Mexico, the Bane Elemental cannot Nightmare himself. He's just going to get right-clicked down and pounded by Slayer and Frozen until the crits from Ewo come out. Jumps forward, but the Tornado, Fairy Fire, 5 stick charges as well. It's down to this evasion, down to the misses. The stick charges bait Ewo in, but it's also a reverse bait as the Ghost Walk. Invoke comes back off cooldown, and Slayer, slowing down the Phantom Assassin, has to try and blink across the creeps, but it's all over for him.
I think that kill attempt was pretty optimistic from Ewo, and he even got super lucky. He got like the double crit. Like, that's pretty nice, but trying to dive onto that Invoker didn't really have a well thought out way to kill him besides I'm going to run at this guy and crit him until he's dead. It was pretty close though, both of them baited with the sticks. I think they would have been really happy with that trade though if they didn't take the extra dive.
Yeah, if they didn't lose the PA, I think it's all fine. But BSJ has moved off top lane. This is relatively obvious. He has shoved top, so it looks like he might have dipped back into the jungle, but as soon as these two creep waves meet, I think E-Wolves should realize, unless they're too preoccupied mid, as the Tornado comes in with the EMP and Tiny's caught, the stun bounce back onto Van. Smash. You turn and try and bait this one out. Nope, just get the Tiny out of there. Make sure he survives, and now the pings come out. But I feel like it's a little bit too late. BSJ has already shredded his way through Roshan. They see him with that ice vortex, but it's dead. That was really well timed. Oh, can they get the PA here? There's no stuns, and she blinks back.
They're like all out of mana, it looks like, just about. Oh, Invoker's actually coming in. He's got Tornado, EMP. No other spells, though. Just annoying that, yeah. Sending him back to base.
Back to base you go. And they've got Arcanes on the Ogre now, so they could potentially look to take down this tier 1.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Right,
attack.
Helm of the Dominator for BSJ. There we go.
It's pretty close to Blink Dagger. Yeah. Enemy is hitting that point where they have really strong group up heroes. They have it on his 6. They have Arcanes on Ogre to give him some mana. I'm assuming this Invoker is getting his Urn, which he's pretty close to. And BSJ is pretty close to Blink, and they're just going to run at them. And they don't really have good heroes or tower sieging, so the Zeus, if he's really careful about positioning, he can probably protect against like tier 2 pushes pretty easily, and even tier 1s if he's preemptively set up. BSJ is actually just running at top by himself. It should be Aegis dead for sure. and a very good back from E-Wolves. A lot of teams, or a lot of players especially, would try and stay in that situation and try and get the second kill, but they would have gotten wiped. So they back off, take the Aegis, and now they can just like rotate Zeus to top. He can defend against this 5-man push, and they can just push out the other lanes.
Give the Phantom Assassin some time to farm at bot. It's just the lonely Ogre down here for now.
They really need that 6 on AA too. That's like, this is good that he's going to mid to farm. He needs to try and get this. It's almost more important that he gets farm right now than the Phantom Assassin. Because once they get 6, they can take team fights on the AA.
We're not seeing the blink on Tiny. Going for the phase jumps. He's going to get hit by this tornado. The EMP there, BSJ jumps forward, and Van, you are dead, my friend. Smash, maybe the second one to fall. They don't really have another way to catch up. They get on top of that target. It's like Mistro's Bane is waiting in the wings. TPing the PA in here, actually. BSJ, oh, blink cancelled by the Arc Lightning there. But this tier 1 tower is dropping relatively quickly, and I don't think E-Wolves have... It doesn't feel like they've got any good way of fighting into this, but is it just the Zeus spamming out that's stopping enemy from going out?
Pretty much. That's what they should have had like happen right there, is the Bane should have just sat behind the Zeus top. If the Ursa goes on him, he just sleeps him. Preferably, you obviously don't get jumped on, right? Like the Zeus just gets Arc Lightnings off and keeps the blinks on cooldown. And he just keeps pushing it out, and then the other people push the other lanes. But they kind of grouped everyone up. They got jumped on because they got out of position, and it almost opened up the tower to death. But their heroes are just so weak at killing towers that they still weren't able to finish it off. They're coming back, actually. And they do have ward vision that, like, there's not a lot of heroes in this general area, so they know this is pretty safe.
Rip is ready. BSJ pops his ulti. Brain Sap is there, and the cask actually bounced back onto the Bane.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't open up with a grip there. Because even though there's a Witch Doctor standing there, I think if they grip him and BSJ doesn't get his ult off and they just go like all in on him, they might burst him down there. It's kind of risky play though, so I can see why they wouldn't do it.
For now, Sovereign's down at bot, trying to stop this Ancient Apparition getting level 6, but it's going to happen eventually. He'll get there. Frozen, level 8 on this Ogre. Now, we were speaking about the strengths and weaknesses of Ogre. Like, if you're ahead, you can charge at targets. You get into these sort of skirmishes where you basically bully people out of lane and you bully people out of fights. It's great for the Ogre. If E-Wolves ever get into a position where they have the strength and power to push into tier 1s, Ogre can't really clear waves. He can't really initiate and start into a fight too well. He just wanders in and casts these spells out until he gets some good items. Mobility items like Force Staff, Glimmer Cape, stuff like that. I think that's something they have to look for. Obviously, there's Witch Doctor who would love to have an Aghanim Scepter. Oh, AA. I'm pretty sure you are an... Oh, no, you can just TP. You can just TP. Never mind. No stuns for Abaddon.
Yeah, that's the one thing he's got going for him. He's trying to just hide. Half of this time, he's not even CSing. He's just sitting in experience range, trying to get 6, which is what he should do. Zeus Ult comes out to scout Limdon, who's behind in the trees.
The stun Maladex is there. Limdon is healing himself up, and with a tornado through the shield onto the Witch Doctor. Phantom Assassin, oh man, tries to TP, but there's no escape, no retreat from enemy. Ballsy play.
Gold and sweet.
It's only a Witch Doctor as well. I could understand if they were potentially getting a kill on anyone else.
Yeah, that was kind of greedy. I mean, I think they should have expected the TP rotations. So now that they got this kill, they're trying to turn it into a push. I think the Zeus Bane should be able to hold this, especially with Ursa killing a bot, who does have 6 finally. Is he going to be able to kite him? Oh my gosh, he's going to live. That was so close.
BSJ turned. Like he...
Yeah, I think he could have got him there.
A was here, he blinked forward.
He did, to be fair, he did not know where very many people were. Like, it's been really dark on the map for him for a while, and if he chased there and got Fiend's Gripped and like someone TP'd, he probably dies.
When they see them up at top now, the Bane... Nightmareans will run the hell away. Smash just has to continue spamming out. Even with the Ice Blast coming across, not going to clip anybody. Where is this Tiny? So his drums are up, he's got the DD rune bottle as well. Do you still think he goes back for a Blink Dagger? Or is it, at this point, you think, into that big old carry Tiny build?
That's actually kind of tough. I think with the A, you need the blink. Like, they need some way to initiate and burst someone in the fight, right? And if they have the A ult, if he even hits one important hero, or maybe 2 less important heroes in a fight with the Tiny Wombo combo with the A blast plus Zeus ult, they're gonna die for a pretty long time. I mean, he's got to hit Invoker, Witch Doctor, or Ursa, I believe, because the other, I think Ogre and Abaddon are too tanky.
Oh, hang on. BSJ, what are you doing? Trapped in the trees, he misblinked. And that Zeus ulti actually sees him and catches him out. That was super fortunate, because originally E-Wolves, they thought someone was hiding up on this cliff here. So they ran across, with the smoke up on them, then ran sort of towards Ancients and Roche Pit. But that one ulti from Zeus to give the scouting intel, they saw BSJ hiding, or stuck, or whatever he was doing.
Yeah, I didn't catch what he was doing because I was watching the heroes in the middle. I think he was just farming, and, yeah, pretty much. Let's see how the item progression coming on Invoker. Working his way towards Orchid. Pretty decent pickoff. The only problem with it is that it doesn't really scale that well against E-Wolves heroes. Once they start getting BKBs, he won't be able to do anything to them in fights, and they really don't have any good anti-BKB heroes. The best they got is a Witch Doctor. Like, Witch Doctor can drop his ward and be like, hey, you guys are BKB'd, run into this. But because he is kind of behind, and he won't have that Ags anytime soon, it's not that threatening.
And the fact that this Phantom Assassin looks like she's going straight into that BKB rush. A little bit worrisome for them if they can't get BSJ onto a target, but that's what he's doing right now. Hunts for the Bane. Nightmare not in time. Can they catch a secondary target though? Van is so speedy with Drum's phase, just sprinting away, galloping the little Rockman. But he's stopped to farm a camp. Tornado, they see him, they know he's here. And Lumgo with a cast will bounce it back and onto a creep in fact. They'll still go onto Van. Not sure if this secures the kill. Death Ward is there, Avalanche to cancel it out, and Van is still running himself away from this. BSJ, blink ready now. Blink, clap, dead, down, no! Toss? He didn't clap! He didn't get the Earthshock there, there's no slow, and Van is being healed up. The bottle keeps him going with that Thunder God's Wrath to scout them out and do a bit of deterrent damage. Enemy. Little misplays.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, Van almost gave him a pretty big kill. That would have been a tier 1 tower basically if Van died there, and now it's not. So, pretty significant kill. But he does take out Zeus instantly. Can they kill him here? They do have Fiend's Grip, but he sees them coming in with Observer Ward, so he shouldn't get caught by this. This is a pretty risky dive. TP's come in.
Oh God.
The right thing to do is turn around right away.
Is Bane dead?
This is a good AO though. Oh, they went on different targets.
Jump onto BSJ, but Frozen is killing off the Bane Elemental. Ewo heals himself up through it. BSJ still not dead yet, and the Ice Blast wears off. Meanwhile, on the side, Van kills the Ogre, but that Tornado just dodged. Well, it was just a little bit short as well from the Slayer. Not long enough, but BSJ, Fiend's Gripped up. I don't think the Bane will survive. Ursa somehow gets the final swipe in there. And as we start to look for the next Roshan, a minute and a half until that guy is back up. Regen Rune up at top. Van go out, going to go and steal it, or kill off the hero that tries to take it from him. I think E-Wolves just getting a little bit too big for their boots. Ice Blast was pretty big, but enemy TP racked perfectly.
Yeah, they're just, a lot of the misplays this game out of E-Wolves have just been their overcommits at towers. Like, they've been diving for kills that just are way too risky, like that dive on Witch Doctor. Here comes another one, but see, this one's a little better because he sees them all mid and knows that they really don't want to TP and give up that tower to save the Witch Doctor. Pretty decent AA blast. Zeus has ult up. They're all TPing in here.
Got shield on BSJ, it's gone now, but the blink forward, Ewo is still hunting down his Ursa. He's got his ultimate up, he needs to pop it now, turn to fight. There's no control except the Avalanche, but they've still got shield and heal. BSJ is lasting through it all with a shield back up on him. He just outputs so much damage without being stopped at all. Clap again, but he's finally going to drop to the Phantom Assassin. Right-click attacks deafening from Slayer. The sustain from Sovereign, that final miscoil. One hit, slows down Smash, keeps the attack damage coming in from Slayer as well. Not going to go in too deep though. The Invoker backs up to go and help his teammate Frozen, who, living up to his name, does get held in place. But Doomsday, I mean, goodbye. The poor AA. Do they get the Bane here as well? That's the big question. Slayer, no Invoke.
No spells.
No spells.
Well, that was quite the fight. It's all over the place. They really need this BKB up on PA so he can be more aggressive in these fights without dying every time. Because they do need someone that can dive in, but the Tiny, like, he doesn't have the blink, so he can't do it. So the PA has to lead the charge, but he just instantly dies because he's not enough of a threat. Like, Tiny blinking in and one-shotting someone is a pretty big threat. PA blinking in and poking you, hoping to crit with, like, 0 damage items, not a really big threat. I really do think this would have been a great game for Blink Tiny, but he's going to have an Ags eventually, and he might even still go Blink after Ags, just it might be too late at that point. Picking up the next Roshan, they have the attack speed, so it's really fast from Ogre.
And they used Ice Blast to scout, so they didn't have it for the team fight if they wanted to go and contest.
Yeah.
Ether Lens on Ogre. I mean, his cast ranges are, you know, they're pretty awful to be honest. So
Yeah, it's a pretty good item on the hero. I like it. Just usually, I really don't know why he didn't disassemble his Arcane Boots, because the build up for this build up that he's going, it should be Arcane Boots into Aether Lens, into Tranquil's Soul Ring, and then you have like Sustain, and then you go Ags, because when you're using the Ags Ogre, you're always Zoom anyways, and so the natural build is Soul Ring, Tranquil Boots. But it's still good because they're like a 5-man lineup, so he's trying to give his teammates mana with the Arcanes, but I don't know.
whoa.
He just died, yeah. At this point, it's like too dangerous for Zeus to protect the towers. Now that they're, like, it's nighttime, he doesn't have vision of them all. I mean, you have to be like pulling the creeps off before the Ursa's in range to jump on you, and he just wasn't in a position for it early enough.
Oh, here's the 21-minute steroid Ursa coming at you. Shield, Bloodlust, Alacrity, crushing through heroes. And they've put Alacrity onto the Abaddon for some reason, just hit into the tower, I guess is the reason behind that toss. Takes off the shield, cancels the blink of BSJ as well. Not sure if that was intended, but either way, good play by Van. Stops BSJ initiating onto anyone, but he's got the chance now. He wants to blink forward, they toss the PA into the middle of them all. She gets herself out, but not for too long. The Maledict with the Death Ward, BSJ stunned up, but Ewo, is he going to tick to this? Pops his BKB and he's delivered up at the last second, but the Racks are dying. They're losing their bases. BSJ blinks forward into the Bane, down he goes, and Van, they just need stuns and control for the Tiny. I'll give up the Ogre as a sacrificial lamb here. In the meantime, Slayer has literally not moved from the spot for a good 15 seconds as he just right-clicks down buildings.
That is the name of so many games lost for most teams. Like, the AA, getting Zeus picked off was really, was bad. Getting AA picked off was Rax losing, because they really need that AA blast to threaten kills when they're pushing the base. Otherwise, they're never going to burst someone down. And like, even though the Ursa has Aegis, if you can burn his Aegis with an AA blast, like, it's better than nothing. And now he still has Aegis, so they can just keep fighting. And oh no, oh, did he not see him there? He did. Blinks forward. BSJ. Oh, just thinks better of it. But yeah, it's so, like, the range on the Icy Vortex, which is what he was placing down, is gigantic now. There's no, like, you can stand at the tier 4s and place it on your ramp, so there shouldn't be any excuse to really get caught.
Well, Abaddon, Aghanims is about 1200 gold away. I'm not sure if Van can really think about going to kill him. He's 100 gold off his Aghanim Scepter himself. Oh wow, okay. That's something I wasn't really expecting. Ags on Ursa. Well, Sovereign.
That just reduces the cooldown.
You can use
18-second cooldown, and you can use a little stun. Oh my. Okay, that is really strong.
Big one.
Sovereign is actually in trouble.
Like mid Fiend's Grip, you're like, yeah, what up? Better than, literally better than a BKB.
Wait, does it take off everything? Like, I don't know. How exactly does the purge work for it?
I'm not sure if it takes off. Like, Fiend's Grip historically is, it can be purged by great. Like, there's 3 different types, like Dispel and Purge. There's lesser Purge, greater Purge, and then there's like Dispel. Because you can purge your Fiend's Grip with like Legion Commanders, whatever.
Yeah, and Abaddon. I don't think that you'd be able to enrage out of Fiend's Grip. Because usually it's like the Perplex or whatever, right? It's like the Sheep Stick effect.
Yeah, because you can't do it with, like, Lotus Orb is a lesser Dispel or lesser Purge. You can't get rid of Fiend's Grip with that, but you can with Abaddon Shield.
I feel like, oh, he's breaking the smoke right here. Do they have any detection?
No.
One of the problems with So Rich is sometimes you get too ahead of yourself and don't buy detection. You're just like, I want to buy my item. So all the supports have point boosters instead of detection. Dan's gonna pick up Lumden right here.
Or is he? Well, toss is down. Lumden's still surviving through. The heal comes out. He's dead now to Ewo's blink forward, but BSJ, he's the one that's actually gripped up and gonna lose the Aegis on the side. 4 heroes surrounding him, but Ewo is kind of trapped off, held in place with a big old multicast, and BSJ blinks but misses the clap. Doesn't catch anybody now. Nightmared up. They'll kite him around a little bit, so they get the Witch Doctor. But the damages they took, all their ultis are down, bar Fiend, except for Thunder God's Wrath. It's a level 9 Zeus. Level 1 ulti, and BSJ just moves in. Alacrity. On to the tier 3.
They can potentially burst him. They have AOL up right now. If they can get a combo on BSJ when he goes in right here without him ulting, if they ult him, this could potentially kill him. Okay, just kidding. Heals.
He's fine.
Yeah. They have to, like, burst him without him getting his auto attacks off. Because if he gets those auto attacks off, like obviously what you saw without the AOL being up, oh my lord.
He just jumped straight back in. Good night, AA. So no BKB on Ewo, no ultis available for E-Wolves. BSJ, he's on the hunt. He just wants to blink onto a target. Where's his blink? Off cooldown now, but they found the Phantom Assassin, but back a little bit. Van caught by the tornado. Slayer gets them all. And I think E-Wolves are done for now. EA can fly back, but Tiny's gone for a good minute. Hang on a second. Force staff back in. Yep, frozen dead in the old fountain.
I mean, they're not going to be able to get the top racks here because the tier 2 is still up, but tier racks is down. BSJ has another 3,200 gold. It's looking pretty difficult for Eels at this point. Is that A trying to buy Midas when they're this behind? I don't know if I can approve of that.
I kind of dodged that topic because...
Yeah. It was already so grim. I mean, it's like, what does he buy that he can actually get to that's useful at this point? Maybe an urn, but it's like they're not even really getting that many kills. It's a tough one, to be fair. And if he does get the Midas, it's pretty nice, but they really do need that Ags. It was pretty important in this game, and he just got shut down too hard. Mainly because their bot lane didn't go well, because they did try to dual lane and Abaddon dual lane. Like, there's very few dual lanes that beat Abaddon dual lane. There's lots of, like, AA I think is one of the best tri-laners against Abaddon, it's just they didn't actually have a tri-lane, so their lanes went a little worse than I thought, but I feel like overall they're just, the whole game, they were just kind of getting out farmed, and I mean, I haven't watched a ton of Team Enemy, to be honest, but just based off of this game alone, and I feel like what you were saying earlier, they really just like to group up. And so if you're diving people under towers and they're a team that like to group up, it's kind of setting them up for success, because you dive the tower and they all TP to counter gank, they kill the person that like, you know, was diving the tower, and then they're all grouped up to push right after it. So it's kind of setting them up for what they want to do. In general, it's better to just keep the lanes pushed out and then try and avoid their ganks, because they really didn't have a great ganking lineup, right? Like, I mean, they have Invoker, so if he gets a Ghostwalk Tornado, that might work, and Banana Slam Jamma with the Blink could maybe catch someone, but other than that, looks like they're still making a last stand, though. I think that trying to make it at the tier 2 is a little ballsy, but here comes the Tornado MP, completely whiffs.
Van is stuck in the trees, they saw him go in. Ewo blinks forward into the aggressive position, but BSJ is going to get clipped by this Ice Blast. They're still going out to this PA. Blinks back with the Thunder Guns around there. BSJ's actually being held in place here, but the Phoenix Grip, but a big Deafening Blast will send Van back, and the Phantom Assassin has nowhere to run but back. Doomsday AA, I'm sure you've lost. You're dead under your tier 2s, and that's going to be it. 3 dead, looking like the 4th smash. Good 4th staff over to the side, we'll save him for now. It's the Bane Elemental. Also going to Ghost Scepter out. 5 do not die. They lose 3, but they'll get the tier 2 here. And yeah, exactly what you're saying. The past few games, 3 series I've seen from EnemyGG so far, has been 2 of the games they've picked BSJ Slark, and they've lost just off like the Slark pick. Like completely, like their lanes have done nothing, and Slark has just faltered and been aggro tried. The other games though, they've had like a Terrorblade with a Alacrity Shield, they've had Ursa a hell of a lot of the time. If they can group up with BSJ, who gets 10-15 minutes of free farm, they do exceptionally well. They always play for the early game. I don't think I've ever seen them actually get ready and play for the late game without faltering at the laning stage.
Yeah, that's kind of the name of the game in the meta right now. It's like you need to find heroes that are able to lane. Like, having strong laners is pivotal, like, to winning right now. And it's kind of like Slark is not a good laner, right? Like, the hero, even if you try lane it, it's pretty weak, so it's easy to shut him down. And Ursa is like able to lane, and he still scales decently into late game, Terrorblade, stuff like that. Like, Terrorblade's a better laner, so that's probably why they haven't found that much success with Slark. But yeah, that game was pretty well played. I think that there was a few item choices. Like, I think that Tiny really did need that Blink Dagger, because they had the right idea. Like, their plan was to burst someone down with their A and their Zeus, but they had no way to start it, like, and lock them in place and actually kill them. And that was their Tiny combo. Like, Tiny honestly should have gone Blink Force, almost, so he could, like, avoid EMPs, avoid tornadoes, still get in position, blink in, wombo combo someone, and then force out, and not, like, die just for one combo. But even if he wasn't going to go force and just was going to, like, go in and die, I think he still needed that item very badly. And actually, he did end up getting it, right? I always stopped paying attention to their items when they were down 2 Raxes, but I think he might have had it, but it was, you know, after Ags, which is just way too late.
The tiny end of the game with Ags Drum's phase.
He was just fast.
Yeah, he was super speedy. Like to be fair. But
running into Cold Snap, Tornado, like Cask, Ogre Stun, because that's one of the things Ogre can stun, right? A tiny that's running into you. Not too many other things that you can actually reach, so... Yeah.
Oh, that's game number 1. E-Wolves up against... And, like, EnemyGG have been, like you said, outperforming. They've been really looking pretty damn good with their pre-made strats. Find out in game number 2 whether they can come back, whether E-Wolves ban Ursa, because a lot of people have been doing that in first and second phase against BSJ. Get rid of that teddy bear. Don't let him have it, but they do have other heroes up their sleeves. We'll find out in game number 2 coming up in a couple of minutes.